Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another video, and today we're not even going to talk about Pokemon investing. There is something much bigger at hand. Kenny Boulder has received 7,000 subscribers. Woo, party for Kenny. Let's go. Kenny boy. He hit 7,000, guys. Unbelievable. Like the worst channel on YouTube, where a lot of us just watch it for the pure cringe content. Anyway, he hit 7,000 subs, so we have to celebrate that on this channel. Love to see someone succeed that buys Pokemon cards and then talks shit on scalpers. I absolutely love it. But he had a Hidden Fates ETB and some tins and a couple other crappy ETBs. So doesn't that officially make him a scalper too? Doesn't that make him a person that owns Pokemon cards? I don't get why he's talking so much shit. But either way, Kenny Boulder. We're going to celebrate him. 7,000 subs. And someone left it in his comments, like, man, thank God you're just not like those other YouTubers. And they're like, I seen in your background, I started to think you're one of them. And it's like, bro, he is one of them. He is one of everybody else. It's just he's too broke, or he'd be doing the same damn thing. Like he said, all he ever spends on Pokemon's like $400 or $500 tops. Like, if he had the money, he would be doing the same fucking thing. That's the thing that pisses me off. Is like everyone that's broke as fuck just complains and they're like, yeah, them fucking scalpers, bro. I hate those fucking scalpers, man. They're the worst. And it's like, but then they like, their grandmother passes away or something, they get like 50K. They're like, yo, we're scalping, baby. They're like, it's on. Let's buy everything we can get. Let's go to Sam's Club. Let's clear out that prismatic, baby. Like, it's like, dude, you know he would do it. Like, if he had the money, you know he would do it. Like, that's why, like, his subs are such fucking tards. You know what I mean? Like, they really are stupid. Like, you're gonna follow some guy that, like, bitches, but it's just because he didn't buy Evolving Skies at, like, $1,000. You know, so he's all pissed off seeing it hit 2,500 and see other people succeed. You know, it's like, but if he had the money, you know damn well the first thing Kenny Boulder would be doing is buying a bunch of Evolving Skies booster boxes. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't be any different from anybody else. Like, everyone would do the same fucking thing, you know? It's like, at least man up and just admit it, you know? Of like, yeah, I'm gonna take easy tendies. Fuck it, you know? No one else is doing it. Someone might as well do it. And, you know, and this is the point I want to make in this video, actually, for people that are really against scalpers, is if no one buys it, like, I want to explain this for a lot of people to really clear the record. For, like, people that may hate on my content and just hate watch me, or, like, if, like, my videos ever get, like, extremely popular on the internet and, like, people are talking about me, that I want to make it very clear. If no one, like Holland Phantoms, for example, if no one just drops the 16 grand on the booster box in the Pokemon community, the price just automatically blows up to 90K because no one buys it. So it's actually a good thing to have someone buy this stuff, you know, even if it's a scalper, because like if someone bought Holland Phantoms for like 16 grand, even if it's like an evil scalper, like the worst of the worst, and they can get like 60 grand, they'll probably sell you it for like 60 or 70 grand. Like, so you can get in the box a little cheaper than what you would have to through like just the market, you know? Because if no one buys the stuff, then no one has it to fight back against prices going up. Like, and I don't think a lot of people understand that science of it. Especially with vintage. Like, it's like if no one buys team-up boxes at 10 grand, they're like, when the prices go to like 15, 20, 30 grand, like there's no resistance. So then they can just run to like 90K. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally no resistance. And like, you're seeing this happen with like Holland Phantoms, you know, is like the blisters. Like, there's no resistance of anyone selling them for 3 grand. So now they're going to run to like 5 to 6K. So, like, you actually need people in the community to risk their own paychecks and keep prices, like, reasonable, you know? and like usually a lot of people do this for modern. That's why modern goes up slower, is because like there's more resistance of people with prismatic ETBs or like Evolving Skies ETBs or like any modern product. So there's more resistance to stop the price from just absolutely just going to like $1 million and there's being no one that can do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what happens with old boxes though. And in this case, like no one is buying them because no one could really really afford to want to drop 16 grand just on a Hall and Phantoms box. And so just the price just flew up that fast in a month, man, because just no one like did it. And the few people that did get massively rewarded, you know, and it's honestly like it's not fair. Like I don't like to see that happen. You know what I mean? Like, because I sure didn't fucking buy any Hall and Phantoms, even though I should have. But essentially, that's what happens. And it's like, and you can go through this through any year, like XY era. Like there are a few people that are still holding the resistance that are helping keep like Roaring Skies at 5 grand, you know, so it doesn't just go to 18K. There's a few people keeping Flash Fire at 11 grand so it doesn't go to 20. You know, there's a few people with Phantom Forces boxes, but not many. And that's why the price hasn't went to like 60 or 70 grand. It's still at like 24K, which is still nuts. But it's not as bad as it could be if there was no resistance. And I feel like that isn't talked about in the hobby enough for like brand new collectors to understand that like some of these older collectors, you may not like them, or you may not like how like easy of money they've made, but at the same time, it's kind of like a storage fee in a way for like a car or a, you know, box. And it's like without someone storing it away, if you ever want to see that vintage product, like you're just going to have to pay tremendously more. And I feel like that's something newer people should understand in the hobby. And I had to learn that myself, like, because when I first got in the hobby, I really didn't understand that. Like, I just was like, man, all these like greedy ass old dudes own everything. Like, this is stupid. You know, they have all the Flash Fire boxes. They have all the fucking, you know, first edition base set boxes. Damn it, this is stupid, you know? And then I had to like really learn and understand it over the years of like, oh, like these people are actually holding this stuff. So if I ever do decide to spend the money, I can at least get it at like somewhere near market price, you know? So if there's no one there holding it at market price, there's just no resistance. And having no resistance in Pokemon is actually extremely dangerous. And you're going to see that happen with like Hall and Phantoms, Deoxys, you know, Skyridge, that like there's no one that's going to be buying these boxes at 100 grand. So if no one bought these boxes at 16 grand and they go to 90 grand, no one's definitely going to buy them at 90 grand. And then they'll just like shoot up to like 300 to 400K. Like this could happen in another month. Like Hall and Phantoms, essentially, I know 100,000 sounds ridiculous for a box, well, 90,000, but like since there's no resistance, like in another month, if no one actually like picks up a couple boxes to be the resistance, like you could see Hall and Phantoms be like a fucking like a $700,000 box. Like that could like tremendously multiply fast if we go by the same theory. And I know a lot of YouTubers don't even talk about this or understand this at all, so that's why I'm kind of bringing it up on this channel for people to kind of understand and take note of, and maybe in your own investing, if you have, you know, the money you want to risk, to maybe be that resistance point that buys Hall and Phantoms at 90K, which I mean is crazy, but like, you know, if you're the only person that really does it and like 2 years pass by, like, yeah, you see what it just did in a month. I mean, imagine, and whenever a product hits a higher price like 90K, it technically should just go up crazier, because there's just no resistance, you know? So, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to, like, think of, interesting theory to think of. And this is why vintage, you know, like real vintage could just go, like, parabolically high. And there's really not much anyone can do about it besides like risk millions of dollars at this point to buy it up themselves and not really let the prices go way higher. But Yeah, I mean that's essentially what happened to Holland Phantoms. No one bought it 16 grand, and now you're seeing, it went to 90K because there was just no resistance. No one bought it like 16. No one bought it like, I think it ran up to like 50K, and then no one bought it that. It was like that for like a couple of days, and then 90. Like it's just like there was no resistance, and the market got caught. Like just not buying it, and that's what happens. So just something to learn from. Hopefully, it helps your guys' investing journeys and understanding of how the hobby works and how vintage works. But yeah, like you could see the same run up with Team Up, man. Like you could see Team Up booster boxes like run to like 70K. And I mean, that's not even like a crazy stretch of the imagination. Now, there's a little bit more resistance with Team Up because it is newer compared to like a set like Hall and Phantoms from 2006. But basically, the same principles apply. If there's no resistance, aka a couple people holding the box, there's no one to step in and sell the box at a reasonable price. So, that's just how things work, man. And that's why, yeah, prices are just so outrageous for vintage. And I think they're going to just continue to get worse because in this economy, no one can afford the 90K for a Hall and Phantoms box. So, whenever it runs to like 300K hypothetically, like there's just no one to step in and be like, oh, I'll sell mine for 150, bro. I'm cool with that. Give me my money. There just won't be anybody to step in. Just like when it hit 90K, there was no one to step in and be like, I'll sell mine for 60, bro. Like there just was nobody there. Um, maybe like one or two people, and they're all like, yeah, I'll just wait. I'll let it keep going higher. So yeah, like none of those people chose to sell, so now the price is pretty much set at 85 to 90 grand. So just something to learn about with vintage. It's not discussed. I feel like every channel talks about modern all the time, and they don't cover vintage or like understand the scarcity, the rarity, and the desirability of vintage. And people are always going to want to rip some vintage just to see if they can like get lucky. So yeah, like the demand's never really going to stop either. So just something to really consider and think about. To maybe grab some vintage packs, even if you're not grabbing a booster box, to maybe grab some blisters or something. But that's basically a breakdown of like why it's kind of good to have people in the hobby that step in and spend their own bread. Like honestly, it's as much as people don't want to hear that, it's just kind of the truth. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed the rant. But yeah, it's just a different way to look at things. Hopefully it helps you guys in your investing journey. Of like, maybe you decide, hey, maybe I should grab some Deoxys packs, before they just like triple, because there's just no resistance. So all these vintage boxes are like this. There's so many vintage products that exist, and there's just not enough people that can afford to own them. So that just makes the prices go up higher, man. And then the few people that can't afford them usually rip them because they just want to have fun, or they have enough money to just rip them and have fun. So yeah, there's just not much like of a resistance force of investors, and that's kind of a good thing. Like that's what keeps the market from you having to pay, you the consumer having to pay more for cards. So just a different way to look at it, man. Instead of just like, I absolutely hate scalpers. It's kind of like, oh, well, good thing this person owns some, like my Diamond and Pearl blister. Like I wouldn't have been able to buy it if I just didn't know some random guy that had them. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't know him, fuck, I wouldn't even have one. So you kind of got to look at it that way sometimes, man. Like everybody's just all gimme, and I can't get this, so I hate everyone that owns Pokemon. And it's like, yeah, well, if there wasn't someone buying Diamond and Pearl packs, you wouldn't be able to get them literally for any price. So you kind of got to look at it that way sometimes, man. Like it sucks. Like, I don't like paying these prices either, but, it's like if no one buys it, this is what continues to happen, and it will continue to get worse. You'll continue to see prices get worse. So anyway, that's all we got for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and we're out.